Anansi and Crocodile. The hot summer months were over, and it was getting cooler. Anansi was pleased, as now the breadfruit trees were bearing. He just had to pick the breadfruits, and with the showers in the nights, the rivers were full of water again, and Anansi could do what he liked to do most: catch crayfish. In the mango season, he did not bother to cook. He just turned the pot down and ate only mangoes, morning, noon, and night. And in the breadfruit seasons, he stuck to breadfruit, boiled breadfruit fritters, breadfruit balls, roast breadfruit stewed in coconut milk, rundown, yaman, and then crayfish. Anansi loved crayfish soup and curry crayfish, but liked best crayfish steamed with onions, garlic, tomatoes, bell peppers, scallion, and thyme. Not far from the riverbed, a kind of barricade made up of sand and gravel had been created, and therefore, further up the river course, the fast running water expanded and encircled a small island. There, Anansi was squatting on boulders, and cautiously he turned every stone and small boulder. Aha! How the crayfish escaped to try hiding under the stones. Aha! And how Anansi grabbed them and threw them into a bucket. He could hardly wait to drop them into the pot. Now the first bucket was full, the second one half full. It started to drizzle. It did not matter to Anansi. In his hunting fever, he forgot that at the upper course of the river it must have rained heavily already. He did not pay attention to the clouds gathering at the mountain top. He was just glad that the sun did not burn any more. Thus the current was getting faster, and the two river arms enclosing the small island were getting deeper and deeper. Far too late, Anansi noticed that the water had become too deep to wade through to the banking. The water gurgled alongside him. It carried goats and uprooted trees along. Now Anansi was getting terribly frightened. The shower stopped as fast as it had begun, but now it was getting dark. Anansi was getting frightened again, and he was right, because now, as he looked down the river course, he saw some tree trunks, very long tree trunks, which lay beside the river, gliding into the water and swimming towards him against the current. Anansi suppressed a shout. He placed his hand on his lips, because these were not tree trunks. These were big crocodiles, more than 12 feet long, who lived not far from the river mouth. Anansi imagined how one of these crocodiles could easily tear him apart as they drew closer towards him. He nearly fainted. But then he got an idea. He opened his eyes. It looked as if the crocodiles had not yet seen him, and so he said to himself, "Attack is the best defense." And so he jumped up and began to dance on the spot, waving his arms around in the air and shouting, "Yo, come right here, so brother crocodile." And so the huge reptile which was nearest to him opened his huge snout, blinked his eyes in surprise, and stammered, "Me is nobody, brother man. Me is Olga."